There we go.
Clap.
I forgot to do that in the last one, but I'll just have to do it manually, old school style, I guess.
Cool.
I don't have another Red Bull to open for this intro.
Hey, that's all right.
So
That's all right, bud. We'll do the water bottle. Are we live?
yeah, we're live.
Oh, what's up, man?
Not a whole lot, dude. How you doing?
Awesome.
We need a little screen so we can see ourselves on the video.
That'd be sick.
Yeah,
That'd be sick.
we'll get that all going one of these days, dude.
Yeah. Can
Yep.
you hear me? Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about me? You got me?
I got you.
Okay.
You sound super clear.
I don't know what it is, dude. Here, you want me to turn you up a little
Nope,
bit?
it's good. We're good.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's get it started.
So what do we got today? We're doing toxic relationships or just relationships in general? What do you want to get into?
I don't think we want to get into relationships per se with like girls right now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hey, my girl, like we were I think we're talking more about relationships like toxic relationships versus and then how to surround yourself with positive people to
Okay.
help you get out of those toxic relationships.
Okay.
And learning experience. Like we're in no way are we professionals at this. I think we're going to speak from past experiences, but I think putting this content out there might help some people that might have some serious issues going on with relationships in their life that they can use
Hell yeah.
as a barometer to just say, hey, thank you for getting me, clear-minded, open-minded to see in a different perspective. And I think that's what some people need. I needed it.
Yeah. Well, because I know you brought it up the other day because, I mean, I do feel at a place right now where I feel like my circle is just nothing but supportive.
Right.
And
And
you
I
had
witnessed that
mentioned
firsthand. That was awesome.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you had recently I don't know if you said you cut them from your life or like you had just tried to restructure it a little bit to get
Well, see,
who was around some negative influence in your life. You're trying to cut it out. So I was curious if you wanted to expand on that a little bit.
yeah, for sure. Really, what it comes down to is, so the more, not necessarily the more older you get, but the more wiser you get over the course of years. So when you're 20 something, 19, 18, 20, 21, you're kind of naive to a lot of things around you for the most part. If you're extremely mature at that age, then bless you, but if you're not and you're still going through trying to find out who you are and then putting people around you that aren't necessarily beneficial to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was more of a recognizing are these people feeding me the energy that I crave, and which is positive energy, positive vibes, good vibes,
Mm-hmm.
for me and my lady especially. And I feel like I put out there in the universe, the karma, the vibe I put is a positive one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always congratulating people that I know on achievements or accomplishments, and always giving good information, in my opinion, to be like, you could do that. Oh, fuck yeah, you should do that. Don't let nobody hold you down. Be who you want to be, and don't let anybody influence you if it doesn't feed you or give you that positivity to go and do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just things like that. Like I noticed people would say certain things, or people would do certain things in their actions. And by no means am I perfect. I'm flawed. I've made mistakes. I've probably said a few things that have hurt other people. But to be able to understand that, I think is huge. To be like, you're not Mr. Perfect, but how can you change that? And I've always felt like that. If you give people good energy, they're going to give you good energy, you think. And you're going to just use that. And everybody's going to vibe off each other. And everybody's going to use that to motivate themselves to either succeed in the industry they're in or to be a better person in life, right? So I've went through some relationships and that were maybe in my sense that I was like, hey, I thought we were a lot closer to people.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it could be friends, it could be family, it could be coworkers. It doesn't matter who you have the relationship with, but it's all how you perceive it. So if you perceive it to be a certain way and it's not, it's almost like a gut punch, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
damn, was I wrong, right?
Yeah. My wife, she showed me I think it was a meme or at least a quote on some social media site, and it was like, pay attention to who's cheering when you succeed.
For sure.
And that's true because you might think that you have these people that are supportive of you and are rooting for you. That might not be. And I hate to we're trying to go a positive way with stuff, and that's kind of a negative, but
well, that's what toxic relationships are.
yeah.
And just because we're positive people doesn't mean we can't talk about toxic relationships that we've been through or experiences that you need to watch out for. Like you saying, people that don't cheer when you succeed. It's like you go somewhere, you go to somebody's house, and you're like, "Hey, is that a new couch? Yeah, that's fucking nice, man. It's comfy too. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Hey, is that is that my wife? Is those new curtains? Those are awesome. Those are nice.
Yeah.
Oh, did you just paint? Yeah, that looks sick. It's nice. Oh, you got a new TV? Congratulations, bro. Let's watch the
That's
UFC
sick.
fight.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And those are the kind of things helping people feel proud of what they've probably worked hard for. Letting them know that what they're doing, it's not going unnoticeable.
Yeah.
So I think just having that feedback, everybody needs to be fed to fill their soul.
Yeah.
And you don't need to hear, "Hey, bro, you're awesome" all the time, but you need to hear that, "Hey, I notice you." And I think as human beings, we crave that. We crave relationships, not just with your spouse or your girlfriend or your husband or whoever it may be. You just crave a little attention, a little love. And I used to, I go back to this one. Somebody told me, "Why are you so sensitive?" You know, and I come from a big shit talking family. All the cousins, we get all on each other and we talk shit. But to me, it's always out of fun. And you're just busting somebody's butt. You're busting your balls. You're like, "Oh man, fuck you." Oh, why you this or why you that? But at the end of the day, you're laughing. But if somebody takes it personal, I know, don't go there again.
Yeah.
So I've really pulled that back. And I'm just like, I'm not even going to do that anymore. I'm just going to be all about chilling with those people, trying to make them feel good about either decisions that they've made, the life that they're living. I'm never going to criticize somebody, even if they're doing something wrong with their life. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't do that. But you know what? I'm not them.
Yep.
And I don't know their circumstance. So I'm not going to judge. Being judged in this day and age, and people are super hypercritical. And I think that's unfair, because if somebody really doesn't know you, then it's unfair for them to judge you from what somebody else says versus what they think, because not everybody has the same ideas and opinions.
Yep.
Right?
No, that's huge, because I know I've been in situations where I've had what I thought were friendships, or maybe they were whatever they were, where we'd be somewhere and the whole just basis of us getting together was just so everyone could talk shit on just either other people or other things or whatever. And you get like sucked into this negativity.
Right.
And you realize like, yeah, why are you judging that person? And as soon as you're the person to challenge that, then you become like the enemy to a certain degree,
You're bucking the trend.
Yeah.
Like, why is Kevin fucking it up?
Yeah.
Dude, we're supposed to be like all together on this shit, talking shit.
Yeah.
This rant is all about other people, not.
And I think you have to be
Enlightenment.
exposed to people that have that positivity to realize like, dude, you can sink into a huge hole on. There were some of my friends, dude, and I reach out to all my friends like as often as I can, even if it's just hey, how you been? What are you doing? Just to kind of hear that they're still alive and things are going okay, or maybe things aren't going okay, just to keep in touch, right?
Right.
But when the response is just always bad every time,
Yeah, that's
you just like you
get pulled down because you don't want that to turn into you.
Yeah.
That negativity to invade your circle of positivity. And it's no way that we're like, oh, we shouldn't be bothered by negativity.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying not to, because you know how that can weigh you down, the stress.
Yeah.
You already have enough stress as a human being in humanity. You're living in a freaking planet with other planets in a galaxy with billions of galaxies with a flaming fucking ball in the sky that rises and sets.
Yep.
That is stressful to know that where the fuck did this come from, for one?
And it could all just end like
And
that.
it could all end like that. And so to be here and to be like, does Billy like me? Billy said something rude about me, and it really hurt me.
And so where do you draw the line then?
Invade you.
So I'm thinking like with a family or even a really good friend, where do you draw the line on like negativity? Because you have to be able to vent, right? If something bad has happened, you got to be able to still vent it out and talk about it.
We're
right?
human beings. We need to express emotions for the most part, unless you can't for some reason.
Yeah.
I express my emotions, but for the most part, I express them with my girl. And she's like my best friend, and she expresses them to me. And when you express them to others, and that may get misconstrued, or they may tell, maybe you're venting about something that happened with somebody else in your friend circle or your family, and then they're telling them what you said, but it's not necessarily exactly right. And I've went through a couple things like this, um, both ways. And you're kind of just like, you almost gotta shut yourself off to um, that kind of circumstance
Hmm.
to be able to be like, you want to listen to somebody, but you want to give them advice that might alter their relationship with that person. You always want to I always give positive advice. I always like, you can, maybe you should try this, maybe you should try that, because maybe this will benefit both of you,
Hmm.
right? Well, for me, it's like, I noticed that not everybody, especially, everybody has a huge family. Everybody's got a pretty big family, cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever. And I think the biggest stigma is that you have to get along with your family.
Hmm.
You have to have the same mentality as your family, which is not true,
No,
because
not at all.
they're human beings just like you. So you may hang around, your clique of family members, and you guys all have different ideologies and different beliefs, which is I had a relationship like that. And we didn't see eye to eye, but we still loved each other.
Hmm.
But it was more of this partnership kind of isn't working anymore, you
And I
know?
think people feel like an obligation that if it's family, they have to have like a higher tolerance for bullshit or
Right.
whatever it is.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe exactly. That's a pretty
and
good point.
and fine if you want to have that mentality, then I think you have to go with the idea that blood isn't what makes family. Then
Right.
you know,
Exactly.
because yeah, I think that you hit it on the head, dude. That it doesn't matter if it's your cousin or your brother or whatever. That if you're not getting anything back out of the relationship, then it's a toxic relationship. You know, if I know we all have that person in our life that they don't ever contact us unless it's something negative. You
Yeah.
know, like when things are good, they're living their life, they're having fun, and then as soon as shit hits the fan, it's like, hey, let's go have dinner so I can vent about this. Or,
Yeah.
let's go to the bar so I can vent about this. Or
I-
let's go out so I can vent. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to just be like your punching bag or what
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Well, hearing those stories, that information will you can come out of there and you could be like, ah, I'm exhausted
Yep.
from his story, not mine.
Yeah.
And so because they're passing that burden of stress over to you.
Hmm.
And some people are a good barometer of that. Yeah, bring it on, bud. Give me all your fucking stress, no problem.
But if you're
And they
getting
can
positivity from that person as well, then it's different because
yeah.
you're still getting something from it, and you can let it take back.
One
But-
thing I noticed is a lot of people, in my opinion, don't like positivity being thrown at them.
Oh yeah.
It's like that's a flaming ball of fucking fire, and it's like positivity, doing the Matrix thing, right? And I get it all the time at work with my coworkers, and I'm like, because I have to manage, and I always try to spin it in a positive, and spin it to be like, hey man, maybe you should change your perception of how you see things to work in a positive way for you. And it's like, oh fuck this guy, I can't tell him nothing. He doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Like they want you to jump on the negativity train and just ride it till the fucking wheels fall off. Well, you know what? If you're on a negativity train, the wheels are gonna fall off and you're gonna fucking come flying off, 360 spinning in the air, body parts flying,
Yep.
and be dismembered, right?
Dude,
because
you're
that
like
is
one
a
of the
crazy
people
train.
that helps me embrace negativity in a positive way because I mean, like those days, there's those days, dude, when you're delivering beer, you're by yourself, you're not going to get help because everyone's slammed. And then you just submit to it and like it can make you happy, dude. There's
Yeah.
those days where like I know I got to downstack these 5 pallets and roll them into a stop and save, dude. And it's going to suck because it's 105 outside. And
Oh man, that was me
and then
yesterday, man.
the second you just flip the switch, like, you know what? I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to take off my button up shirt and I'm just going to do it my way, whatever. Like I'm going to knock this out. And it's just the way you looked at it. Because I could sit there and spend double the time I normally would just hating it,
or
like,
bitching about
yeah,
it.
or complaining about it, or going over to the store manager and being like,
Yep.
dude, this sucks.
Hell
Why'd you guys order in all these?
Which is a lot of
whatever.
people's case in
Yeah.
in the line of our work. But when you can when you have the ability to control the narrative
Yep.
in your own mind, why would you spin it to be a negative?
Yeah.
Why would you say my day is fucked up? I'm gonna be on this damn truck all day. It's 100-something degrees, and I'm tired of being out here, and our body's aching, and I'm so fucking fed up.
Yeah.
Right? Why would you do that? You're there already.
Mhm.
You can't go anywhere and escape in that moment other than in your brain. I just usually throw on an earphone, put on a podcast, put on some music, and it takes you to a level where I'm like, this has got to get done.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's just negativity. But when you surround yourself with people that don't allow you per se to let that creep in, then you can gauge it easier. You can be like, negativity, and what's that?
But people feed off it, like you're saying, dude. There's those drivers out there that they'll just hop on the phone and call their buddy and be like, dude, can guess what I have to do right now?
Yeah.
You know?
But
and it'll just be a bitch fest for 10 minutes.
And that guy doesn't want to hear it because he's dealing with the same fucking problem you're dealing with right now.
And all you're doing is dragging yourself deeper into that hole where now when you get off the phone, you're just that much more pissed off and demotivated to do whatever it is you got to do.
Talked about it and you added fuel to the fire because that dude's probably like, yeah, man, I got the same problem, dude. I got the same problem right now, bro. And I'm pissed too.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's be pissed together.
Yeah. And let's find someone to be pissed at, you know? Why is Vince setting it up like this? You know, why is Marcus's warehouse guys building it like this? Like,
but exactly. You've been in the meetings. I'm never one to hop on this negative train. I'm always like, come on, guys. Let's look at it from a different angle. Let's make it work for you. You're here 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day. Why would you want to be here and be miserable, right? But so it took a lot for me. I mean, I'm still young, you know, and then I'm at that age where I think your value, your worth. If you know you're a good person and you're not putting negativity out there and you're not wishing any ill will upon anybody out there, I have no ill will towards anybody. Maybe when I was younger, maybe when I was immature, 17, 18, 19 years old, in my early 20s, you still had that kind of maybe like, oh, this guy pissed me off, or I'm not gonna mess with that guy no more, or this guy did me dirty, or all about me. But I'm at a time in my life where maturity and wisdom and positivity and love and cutting out all the toxic and bullcrap and it's not that you don't and if you cut out people that were not necessarily good for you, it doesn't mean that you don't like them.
Yeah.
It just means that they didn't fit with you. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You know, you're trying to, who fits with me here? You know, who's going, oh, you're cool with me and we like this, and you know, every time we get together we can have an hour-long discussion. It's like when me and you kept in touch, and then when you got back, it's like we picked up where we left off.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen you for years, but it's because, you know, we had that same mentality as like, oh man, this is chill, this is cool. Let's make work fun. Let's make this fun. Let's do a podcast. So it's like, hey, you know what? I've been wanting to do a podcast. You've been wanting to do a podcast, bro? You should do a podcast. Hey, bro, text me the next day. I got everything here set up, bro. Let's do a podcast. Yep. Damn, let's do a podcast, right? So it's like surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals that allow you to be yourself and not make you feel bad about being yourself, and allow you to grow as a human being and to work through all your flaws and in instances where you may not be at your best. Mm-hmm. The people that understand that. I know nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. But what we need to do is understand and have a little compassion. Like when I said somebody would be like, man, you know, you're sensitive. If I'm sensitive, it's because I care. If your words hurt me and you calling me sensitive for them hurting me, and I tell you about it, why are you making me feel like I shouldn't have feelings?
Yeah.
When you're cold and isolated, and you're like, well, you're sensitive, so fucking deal with it. You know, I'm not gonna mess with you no more. You're just like, you're being the type of individual that I don't want to be around. Right?
It's easy. I mean, that's toxic right there. You know,
that's toxic.
The fact that you can't even communicate how you're feeling, you know, to someone. If you're gonna have someone that close to you, you should be able to tell them that, yeah, you're not feeling good, or you don't like the way that they're doing this, or whatever. Yeah. Without it being a combative thing.
I don't see nothing wrong with expressing emotion, expressing how you feel, and especially if it's to a buddy or a guy or a family member. And they may not be conditioned to have those kind of ways to express. So maybe deep down they do feel that way, or they understand, but it doesn't come out that way. It's like your mind's saying this, and you're like you want to say yes, but you're like, basketball. It's like you don't have you can't articulate it, and it doesn't come out right. And then a lot of times people say stuff that they regret, or maybe they don't. But it's like what I've done lately is, before I speak, I kind of always get a train of thought on what I'm going to say to somebody because of how it may be perceived. I don't want them to perceive it in the way that I didn't mean it,
Hmm.
right? So you could say something and that person might be like, "Man, that's fucked up to say to somebody." No, 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 but that's not how I meant
Yeah.
it.
Let's
So
put the context with it.
exactly, everybody's going to perceive their
Yeah.
what's coming out of your mouth or the information coming at them in their own way.
So how do you draw a line then? Well, I guess not draw a line, but I know like you can get it through social media a lot of times where like this positivity thing becomes almost preachy, and you get people that they're not actually practicing anything they're saying. They're just pulling a quote that they like off of Instagram and putting it up there.
That's the most
It's like it's almost
irritating
yeah.
thing because
And I think that's what a lot of like these self-help or like, find success within yourself, like whatever, podcasts, video casts, books you can buy, like people get or audio. I know it started like in our parents' generation, like the books on tape, someone just listening to like, be your best you can do it,
right, right.
which is
Like
a good message
self-help
to hear.
books.
But how do you like get the realistic advice, I guess, of how to make that work instead of just,
I think what
someone spouting out bullshit out of their mouth?
I think it goes back to recognizing, obviously, actions always speak louder than words.
Mhm.
So you can't possibly know the 1,000 or 2,000 followers or however many millions of followers you got on Instagram. You don't know all of them personally. You don't know their story. You don't know their background. You don't know if what they're trying to sell to you is a gimmick.
Mhm.
So I think concentrating on the people that are actually in your life first and foremost, and paying attention to those people and how they move and how they act and what do they give you, positive vibes or negative vibes, because anybody can make a motivational page on Instagram and be like, oh yeah, go out and do because it's all about you, or get out there and shine like the star you are. And that person might be in a fucking dark room, with like some ill will plans, like, oh, I'm gonna fucking shoot somebody, like you don't
Okay,
know.
so going into that, actually, this was pretty good. Because there was this lady right before I left for Vietnam. She wanted help like making videos, and I was gonna help her out. And she was like, "Yeah, I keep trying to grow." Like she helps her sister do real estate in Hawaii and stuff, and I keep trying to grow my Instagram, and I get all these people. It's like those positivity ones,
Mhm.
and they'll follow you and comment on something so that you follow them back. And then as soon as you follow them back, they stop following you. And you
Yeah.
go to this person's page, and I've seen this. You go there, and it's like they have 10,000 followers, and they're following 5 people or whatever. And isn't that the exact opposite of like the message you're trying to spread, like of positivity? You're just like you're
Yep.
focus on me, like.
Selfish.
And I want to turn this into like a profitable situation or whatever it is they're trying to do. I don't know what they're trying to do, but your actions are exactly opposite of the message that you're spreading.
which is
You know,
terrible.
it would be like if you told your drivers, "Hey, dude, put a positive spin on it," and then when you rode with guys, you were like, "Fuck, this sucks, dude."
Yeah, you're not leading by example, and being on an Instagram page, you have no control over that. That was one of the reasons why I deleted my Instagram page for a long time, and because I was always trying to put mine out there and spin it in a positive way, like motivation. I've done this, I've been through this, I've done a lot of things in my life and achieved obstacles that I've put goals for myself because I was not motivated to do certain things. I was like, I want to be this guy. I used to read Men's Health magazines. Then I saw the ad for running a Men's Health marathon.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I want to do that. It looks great. Instead of imagining, I want to do it now. I want to put it into real life. And I think using those experiences. So when I would post something on my Instagram, or if I had a picture of the sun setting and I wrote a nice caption about life and positivity, and I wasn't doing it for a facade. That was truly what I was thinking in that
Mhm.
moment. And I didn't have a ton of followers, right? But I think a lot of people are out there just to get those, like the likes and the followers, because everybody's trying to make money and trying to hustle.
Mhm.
And it's not necessarily fair to the people that really might need that motivation, or the people that are actually out there trying to provide
Yeah.
that motivation, for it to be like, oh, that's fake, And so I would never put nothing negative on my page, because I don't think that I need to give negative energy any more fuel. It's like, no, I want to compress that, and I'll find my own ways to deal with stress or anger or sadness or whatever, right? I work out, I expend energy, so that way when I'm doing a picture or a caption, I'm at my most peaceful, positive time. And so it wasn't until somebody told me, at one of my ladies' parties, family function, gathering, whatever. They were like, "Man, I feel like I'm not doing shit compared to your Instagram page," and I go, "Oh my god, like
That wasn't my intention.
that's not my
Yeah.
intention. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad about them not doing stuff because if you want to sit on the couch and stream and eat popcorn and eat pizza and chill or go run without, any feeling bad, then you should do that and not be affected by somebody else's opinion or ideology. For me, I was just trying to be like, this is my life. I want to put it out there because it was supposed to be showing what I'm, it's basically you're saying this is who I am, right? For the most part, I was being honest with mine. So I didn't think putting anything negative on there, but I didn't also think how I was like, I want to motivate somebody because I was motivated at one point. Oh, I followed this guy on Instagram. Oh, this guy was he ran marathons. Oh, he works out and I like the way I like his workout routines and it motivated me to go get in the gym. And then I was like, okay. And then it motivated me to go run or go biking or go
Yeah.
surfing. Right. So that, I mean, I took it for the good, for what it was good for. In no way did I ever intend to make somebody feel bad. And so I kind of deleted it and I go, I don't want to make somebody feel bad. That was never my intention. And it wasn't purpose. It wasn't purposefully done. It was more like, hey, this is who I am, and everybody's got their own type of page. You got yours.
Yep. And I think that social media makes it hard to eliminate those toxic relationships. So when I started making my videos, my Instagram page was private. The only people that could see
Yeah.
it were like my friends and family.
Right.
And someone was like, "Hey, you need to make it public so that other people can see it because we like your videos. They're fun to watch." Like, and I struggled with it. I was like, I don't know. And I finally made it public. And like, it was exactly not my worst nightmare, but it's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. Is I started getting those accounts that like
Oh,
want to start following you, and then they'll like engage with you and want you to go back and follow their page. And I was like, dude, I don't want to get caught up in that negativeness. You
Yeah.
know, I just want someone to be able to search this hashtag and see like, oh, this is what it's like to kayak in Vietnam, or
but that's because you have
and same thing. I don't want someone
you have good intentions with it.
And you bring up a good point because I don't want people to go on my page and see like that cool video of the drone flying through those limestone cliffs, and think like, oh, my life sucks.
Well,
dude.
which is an awesome video.
Yeah, it is. It's a cool video, but I can see how it could
Be misinterpreted.
misinterpreted. Yeah, like, oh damn, this guy travels, he does all this stuff. Like, I'm just a regular dude from the city, and
I
that was
know.
like one trip I made, and one cool thing in the last 5 years of my life that I've done.
So put it in a little bit
So
different.
I don't know how to find that
perspective, though.
balance of like, how do you share that positivity with people without it coming off as like bragging or unachievable or whatever it is.
I think everything is achievable with a little bit of work ethic, and don't sell yourself short of what you can do, because you can achieve a lot of things. And people that always say, they always told me I never would this, and those are the people that usually achieve a lot because they want to prove people wrong.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, if you give yourself a goal and you say you want to do something, you should always follow through, because life is too short to not, right? And to not do what you want to do, to not do what makes you happy, especially, or to not do what you truly have a passion for, you're gonna end up with regret. If you live to be a certain age and you're old enough to retire, and you're sitting down one day in your house and you're on your recliner and you're like, you can't move and take that trip anymore because you broke your hip, or you're in a wheelchair, or you've got an illness that prevents you from traveling. The regret that you're gonna replay back in your mind of, I should have just did it, right? I should have just got up and did it, because nobody's gonna do it for you. It's gonna take hard work, and I think having a little adversity is gonna make that, when you do achieve that goal, it's gonna make that so much more worth it, right? So I think what happens is, we had a similar instance where the video you're posting and you're just like, oh, how's somebody gonna interpret this? I don't want nobody to feel bad. You might have made a couple people feel bad. You might have made a lot of people feel good.
Mhm.
Like, that's achievable. I can do that. I want to do that. I want to experience something like that. So you're always going to have that kind of balance of good and evil.
Mhm.
This world is based on that. There's just the good and evil. There's a lot more evil, but I think the evil is a lot more broadcasted than the good.
Yeah,
It's not that
definitely.
it outweighs it. It's just a lot more focused,
Mhm.
which I don't get, because you turn on the news and it's always like something happened. You'll hear a couple of stories like, Like I just read an article yesterday. You know, the rapper Ludacris. He's been like secretly paying for people's groceries for years,
Hmm.
and it's like that wasn't never broadcasted until now.
Way to go, bro. Way to go.
Dude, does that just totally mess everything up?
No, it's all good.
Well, let me finish this train of thought though. That was never broadcasted.
Mhm.
You know, like maybe people knew about it, you know, but nobody ever thought to put it out there as a story, you know, and this is years in that's been going on. So people are doing good. It's just not being broadcasted on the level where people are sharing it as
Yeah.
much as like murders and just you know anything that has anything to do with evil and negative. It always seems like it comes to the forefront. It's like the cream that rises to the top, you know, and all the good shit's buried at the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, we got to filter all that fucking cream to get down to that good shit and release it,
Yeah.
right? As people, it's like I want to take that challenge. I want you to take that challenge. I want to build up as many people as I can, not for my own pleasure, but for because I think humanity needs it. We all need to be on that level of helping each other, having
Dude, can you imagine
feelings
like
for each other.
going to like Google News and seeing like all positive stories? That would be cool, dude. Like to you know,
hey, you know what? I think
I mean,
should
are we
stop
living
talking
in
about- we might
are we
just
living
make
in
this
La
all-
La Land thinking about that or
I think it's wishful thinking because it's like what they say, clickbait.
Mhm.
You know, it's what sells. It's what are you gonna choose if you're on Twitter and you see a headline and it's like, oh, 25 people fight in the mall, and then on the other side you'd be like, oh, this man paid for this old lady's groceries for 3 years in a row,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, let's go to the fight.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's because everybody wants to see a little bit of madness
The action and
action, but like that story gets swept under the rug, and it's like, well, where's
But
all?
what if you started making clickbaity titles for positive stories?
I think it'd
right?
be. I mean, I think there's some stuff like that out there. I'm sure.
Yeah, like
But I think you
woman,
just have to
woman
find it.
amazed by kind stranger. Click to see what happened, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, us as humans, I think we all want to see people helping each other. It's just like in our DNA to not be so damn hardwired to be like, we're not in that era anymore where we have to like straight up fight for our territory and kill. Like, you know, when they built the Great Wall of China, it was because they were trying to keep the barbarians from invading from Mongolia, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, we're not facing that. You know, that's like saying, hey, Kev, we got to build this wall between Manteca and Modesto because those fucking Modesto, they're coming for us. And you better get your spear ready because it's going down. We're fighting to the death.
Yeah.
We don't have those kind of fears and anxieties. We're more like, you know, how am I going to pay for this next
Yeah.
week? If
It's the
you're-
opposite. Why don't we build another road between Modesto and Manteca so that it's easier to get back and forth and do stuff, you know?
Yeah, exactly. We're you know, like we're like the cat. We're the indoor cat right now. Where, you know, and like when you go out inside and run, you get that primal feeling, and you're running. I used to run in those Vibrams, those barefoot shoes, and I'd be like, yeah, running. And you're just like getting this primal feeling, and you're just like, I feel like I'm back in time right now. Like I'm searching for an animal to
Yeah.
just like strangle, because you're like, I think it's hardwired in your DNA, and in thousands of years of human evolution has just brought us to that point. So now we're like indoor cats. Where we're just like, hey, I can't walk outside without my shoes. Are you fucking crazy, bro?
I might get my carpet dirty.
But like that just goes back to everything what we're talking about with positivity and surrounding yourself with those good people. It's like coming back to that. It's know your worth, know your value. Don't ever settle for less. Don't ever surround yourself with people that you don't feel 100% invested into you. And if you don't invest into those people, then don't feel bad when they disconnect from you,
Mhm.
because everything is about effort and it's about time, and we don't everybody time is they always say it's a man-made constraint, right? But time is valuable,
Yep.
right? While you're here, the way you use your time, the way you utilize it. And for me as a human being and as a person, I'm trying to utilize my time to be better than I was yesterday, to be better for my family, my wife, my kids, to be better for you, just to be better, to help other people feel like it's okay if you're not feeling great, because tomorrow's another day. The sun will come up and you have another opportunity to be better, as opposed to being like just miserable,
Yeah.
right?
And
Hey,
I think there's a tactful way too to get yourself out of those relationships, you know?
yeah, for sure. Don't just
Yeah.
fuck you, you know. It's
Like take the positivity advice like in your head when you're doing it, you know?
yeah,
Is is you can exit that relationship or you can scale back on it. It doesn't have to just be like, I'm never talking to you again. It shouldn't be. It definitely shouldn't be that.
No.
It should just be, that's not the first person you call to surround yourself with next time. You try
Exactly.
hanging out with someone else.
That's what I did. I changed it up a little bit, and I just said, look, I'm gonna go with the people that are feeding me the most.
And you can still
in a
be pleasant
positive
when you
way.
hear from that person or you're in touch with that person. You can still be pleasant to them.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're mature enough
yeah.
to do that, I am. I'm just like, hey, no hard feelings about anything. I don't hold on to grudges.
Mhm.
I don't, I forgive. I hope you forgive me. But at the end of the day, it's cordial. You keep it cordial. You're not going to just like call somebody out in the middle of a barbecue, just like, remember that time, bro? Me and you were like, we're done.
So I think that was good, dude.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think that was a good topic.
Hell yeah. We'll
All
see
right.
you next week.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Later, bro.
Later.
This is Vincent Kev. Come check out our podcast every Saturday morning.
Listen in as we give advice that you didn't ask for and we're not qualified to give, but we're doing it anyway.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, or One Day Early on SoundCloud.